Welcome to the Budweiser Cup Series Season 1 Race 2. We are here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Atlanta 500. It's going to be an interesting race because of this track's high tire weather it is known for, and it gives it a unique racing style or a unique racing package as the cars slide around. We have 18 entries to this race for a 3-stage 18-lap event. We have 5 laps in stages 1 and 2 and 8 in the final stage, but don't count on that because there could be overtime here today. But now I hand over to Hot Rod Hood for the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
His YouTube channel will be in the description, but here is your starting lineup. In row 1 is the 18 of Kyle Busch and the 8 of Tyler Reddick. Row 2 is the 12 of Ryan Blaney and the 4 of Kevin Harvick. Row 3 is the 3 of Austin Dillon and the 19 of Mike Truex Jr. In 7th and 8th respectively is the 11th of Denny Hamlin and the 43 of Eric Young. Then it's the 2 of Brad Keselowski and the 20 of Christopher Bell running at the top 10 in row 5, followed by William Byron in the 24 and the 9 of Chase Elliott on row 6. Row 7 is the 6 of Ryan Newman and the 17 of Chris Buescher, followed by the 42 of Ross Chastain and the 14 of Chase Briscoe in the penultimate row of the grid. And then rounding out the field, the 21 of Matt DiBenedetto and the 32 of Corey LaJoie. Kyle Busch takes the green flag in stage 1. We are racing at Atlanta. Kyle Busch leads the first lap of the race. You saw Chase Elliott get real loose on the back straight, but Blaney down the inside of him as they head through 1 and 2. Here comes Austin Dillon with a big surge on the inside lane. He takes the lead for a brief moment. He comes back into the lead now, but Blaney gets a huge run off the corner as Reddick makes it 3 wide behind him. Blaney drives into turn 1, gets really loose, and now flies out down the back straightaway. Dillon goes to the inside lane. There's still 3 wide behind him, and Dillon drives again down to the corner. Blaney gets a big one, but checks up. He got loose out of turn 4. Lap 4 or 5 in stage 1, 2 laps remaining in the stages. We've already had 6 lead changes. Here comes Blaney and Reddick, who gets blocked by his teammate. Blaney just manages to stay ahead of Dillon as Reddick gets a big run off of 4. Now for a replay of lap 3. Denny Hamlin's had an issue with Matt DiBenedetto. Oh, he took the... I don't think there was any contact there. He just took off the air from the wrist. Spoiler, these cars are very error sensitive, of course. And he went hard in the outside wall, but it doesn't matter because stage 1 is won by Ryan Blaney in the 12. Ryan Blaney picks up his 2nd stage win of the season in spectacular fashion. Because look at this instant for Denny Hamlin. This was a massive impact for him as Matty D, I think he got a little bit loose as well. Matt DiBenedetto got loose. He started in 17th in this race, so Hamlin struggling here early on. He, just the air got, you can see there was no physical contact there. It was just the air got taken off of the spoiler on that car, of the rear corner, and then into the outside, safer barrier high. You see the wall flex absorbing the energy. Big impact for him. He had 2 right side flats, and he's lucky to get away with that one. Pit stops though, up 1 place for Dillon, up a place for Reddick as well. So the RCR cars will be on the front row. Up a place for Byron, down 2 places for Newman, down a place for Truex, up 3 places for Briscoe, who takes 2 tires here, down 5 places for Denny Hamlin. Are the things of note from the first round of pit stops here. And all RCR front row will lead the field to the green in stage 2. Green flag is out again as Blaney peeks the inside of Dillon, trying to take that lead at the restart here. He might just get past Reddick. Yes, he does. 3 wide behind him. Truex gets a really good restart. Aggressive in the back as Reddick drops back. Through 3 and 4. Blaney gets loose. Here comes Truex now. 3 wide behind him. 3 by 3. And still 3 wide as Harvey gets a big run off of turn 2. And now, chasing down Austin Dillon is Mike Truex Jr. is now still 3 wide behind him with Keselowski, Reddick, and Byron. Reddick had a bad restart. 3 wide again now as Dillon made a mistake off turn 2 and has Truex all over his tail now. 3 wide still behind him as the leaders still side by side. Side drafting as they head down the front straightaway on lap 4 or 5 in stage 2. And oh, caution is on. Oh, big hit! Jeez. Hard hit for Ryan Newman, and Matt DiBenedetto was involved in that as well. Fireball. A hard fireball crash for Ryan Newman and Matty D as they bring out the first instant caution of the day as Austin Dillon dominates stage 1, or rather stage 2. 3 cars involved. Chase Elliott was involved in that crash as well, and maybe he spun DiBenedetto around. Up 3 places for Bell then. Into the lead goes Truex in that round of pit stops. Down 2 places for Blaney, up a place for Newman. Sorry, not Newman. 4 places up for Denny Hamlin and Corey LaJoie. Very good stuff for them, and they are the things of note in the second round of pit stops at the end of stage 2. We are under caution here if you just joined us for a massive wreck for Matt DiBenedetto and Chase Elliott as well as this man coming up right here. Ryan Newman is to Benedetto again. Same incident as Denny Hamlin earlier on. Took the air off the spoiler. Yeah, so Chase Elliott was just behind Matty D. Took the air off his rear spoiler, hit the outside wall. Tyre went down, hit the outside wall again, came back across the track, hit Ryan Newman, who's then basically just a passenger, and he slams the outside wall. Look at the fire and the flames and the smoke coming out of that number 6 Rash Fenway Ford of Ryan Newman, the Liberty National car. There's the 21 Matt Benedetto, massive damage to the front left corner of that car, and you look again, 3 wide just ahead, and they were 3 wide the entire time throughout stage 2 there in that 4-lap green flag run, 4.25 laps pretty much. As Newman had a good run off the turn, he was chasing down Elliott, get it, and yeah, Matty D comes back across the track, slap. That's a massive hit already. Benedetto is okay, Newman is okay. I can confirm now that they took the window nets down pretty much immediately. Newman was winded, but he is otherwise okay. You'll feel that tomorrow though. Wow, that's a big impact for Ryan Newman and Matt Benedetto. But yeah, lucky everyone is okay. Testament to the safety of these stock cars. This is a real time. This is scary to watch. Look at that impact, and then slamming the outside wall once again. But we will go green flag racing in stage 3 to end the race. Martin Truex Jr. leads the charge to the green flag in the final stage. Here they come to the green. Truex to the inside, Dillon on the outside lane. Here comes Harvick way up high. Oh, Byron sideways as they head down there. Harvick's loose off the corner and they're 4 wide behind them. Bell challenging Dillon for second, but Dillon gets a huge run off the final turn. He had to check off. I think he was surprised how big of a run he got there, and Dillon swoops right outside of Truex. Run board Christopher Bell now. We do have onboard cameras for this race. Didn't have them at Daytona, we have them here. But now, once again, just like in stage 2, it was unsuccessful last time, but Truex will chase down Dillon. He has a huge run down the front stretch. Dillon gets really loose as they head through turn 2. Here comes Truex, flying to the inside lane. Still side by side, banging doors as they head into 3. Side by side as they were, still side drafting from Austin Dillon to Truex's rear spoiler. And 5 laps to go in the stage as Corey LaJoie and Denny Hamlin, as I expected they would. They only took 2 tires in the last round of pit stops, and Brad Keselowski very loose as Bell now coming down pit road. Truex and Dillon side by side. Truex retakes the lead there, and LaJoie and Hamlin come off of pit road. Truex barely leads that lap. Oh, Chastain looks up and spins, and the yellow is out again. Very frantic and hectic racing in the final stages. 4 laps to go. We will not go over time, but Ross Chastain spins down pit road to bring out the second instant caution of the day. No shake-ups here except for 5th and 6th for Reddick and Jones. Down 3 places for Byron and Blaney. Didn't pit as Reddick, Jones, they'll be up at the front. Oh, speeding penalties for the first time this season, surprisingly. Bell too fast entering and Briscoe too fast exiting. They'll go to the back end of the longest line in the back of the field. So let's have a look what happened here, though. Chastain coming down pit road. You can see him in the back of the shot, that blue 42 car. He just locked up the right front, wheel hopped, and then went straight. Yeah, just spun around, locked up the brakes. Very lucky for him. He almost came back onto the track. That would have been a very nasty accident once again if he had to come back on the track. Who knows what would have happened there, but very lucky he didn't. And he spins. He gets the car going again. Now, obviously, pit road was closed at that point, but he did swerve around and stay outside the pit lane. But 2 laps to go at Atlanta as Truex Jr. and Dillon lead the field to the green flag as Truex 4 wide for the lead now as they head into oh, sideways is Byron, smoke coming out of the cars in the back of the field. Truex is a big lead down the back straightaway, 4 wide behind them, 4x4x4, everybody battling for every position. Truex, Dillon flying in through the final turn now. Dillon has a lot of work to do if he wants to win this race. White flag is in the air, presented by Credit One Bank now, flying through 1 and 2. Dillon drives into the turn, 3 wide behind them, great racing all throughout the field. Harvick pushes Dillon drives it into 3, contact, they spin, no way that just happened. The leaders wreck the dominant cars, are they slamming and crashing big time in the final turn. Kevin Harvick wins the Atlanta 500, a huge 4-car crash, a multi-car crash on the final lap of this race. The dominant cars of the day in the wall, and a huge wreck as Kevin Harvick wins the Atlanta 500. That was spectacular. What a way to end the race. A huge wreck for all the leaders pretty much on the final lap there, bar Kevin Harvick and Ryan Blaney. Wow, that was insane. You see all the cars beating up Truex, Dillon, Bush also involved as well as Reddick. Look now, so yeah, Dillon was pushed by Harvick down the back straight to get that run, but Dillon just drove it in to the back of Truex. I'd probably have to put that on his fault, but I'll put that on him, on Dillon there. But Truex did come down on him there, but I don't think he expected him to come from that far back, so not much he could have done about that. I'd say a racing incident, honestly. Reddick spins down the track. Dylan, some big contact. Again, that's a Dylan Truex. Yeah, they just slammed out the wall. Truex then spins around a little bit there, comes back down the track. That was so close for Harvick. He would have been involved in that wreck as well. Slammed into by Reddick is Truex, and Kyle Busch had a tire go down. I think he hit the back of Reddick going through 3. And yeah, that's all. Blaney threads the needle between Truex and Reddick on the final lap of this race. A spectacular end as Harvick wins. Race results and standings are in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe if you can somehow read this one.